Boxing King Media in association with Box Raw. Delighted to have with me St. George Groves. George, before we were allowed in, I said to you, this is where your workout took place for that Froch fight. So a few memories for you, even though you're local.
Yeah, that was a huge sort of bucket list sort of ticked to do it was open workout for the Froch rematch at Wembley. We had like Westfields in mind, and I think it was probably the first bit of boxing sort of stuff they'd done at Westfields. That's what hadn't been around that long, and yeah, it was mega, like thousands of people here. So yeah, it was cool, really cool place. Obviously, I'm not far from. I'm West London boy, so I'm here sporadically. I know plenty of people here. You know, I get my car cleaned downstairs. So shout out H2O downstairs. Great setup. So yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it. And thanks for the lovely words. Yeah.
No problem. I mean, that wasn't the first thing that you did. You also sold out Wembley Stadium as well. So let's not forget about that as well.
But yeah, we did that too. Yeah, we did that too.
Obviously here for the weigh-in for Joshua Helenius. Just want to go back last week. Just like all of us on social media, when we got the news Dillian Whyte failed a VADA test, there was adverse findings. We don't know anything further just yet. But kind of, what was your instant reaction when you read that?
Disappointment. Really disappointed. You know, there's always like the waters get muddied straight away when there's an adverse finding, you know, in someone's test, and then everyone shuts up shop. You don't really get anyone speaking and on the record facts. So yeah, but disappointing. It's not the first time it's happened with Dillian Whyte. It can't keep happening to the same people. Just open their can of Monster all over their expensive equipment. Yeah, so I was like, gosh, you know, I'm glad the show got saved, you know, for the sake of the guys on the undercard, for the sake of boxing, you know. Lots of people would have been excited to see Anthony Joshua still. It's still a huge name. Now to see him in there with Helenius, you know, it's not going to have the same excitement as him fighting Dillian Whyte, but you know, still a fight.
Obviously, we saw everything that happened with Conor Bennett of the last year, and there's still this failure to understand what is the actual process, who deals with these things. We know Dillian Whyte isn't registered with the British board, he's not licensed by them. Eddie Hearn has clearly said this week he's unsure on how this gets resolved and who takes control over this investigation. Is that further cause for concern that even when someone does fail a test, that we can't actually have a process to clear his name or punish the individual?
Yes, it's awful. I'm not sure exactly what would be the way around that. I think a lot more information should be in the public domain. Like, when did he fail the test? Not just Dillian, anyone. When did they fail the test? What did they test positive for? What does that mean? And then we can get a little bit of background story. Because, you know, you fail a test, you fail a test. You say, oh, he failed a test, but that's not really a bad drug. It's just you know, not so great. Let the fans decide, sort of thing, you know, because otherwise you're doing a trial by the people, and we don't know the full facts. And I get it, like, you know, there's some of this stuff needs to be confidential. Sometimes it's out of people's hands, you know, and there's pressure from lots of different ways to make it. I mean, I'm talking rubbish. I don't know. It's like everyone else. We ain't got the facts. But yeah, it's rubbish. It's disappointing. Boxing will only suffer from it because you have to sub out opponents. You don't end up with the same fight, and essentially you don't end up with the same sport. It's concerning, and maybe the big broadcasters at some point will decide boxing's too risky. You can't spend so much time and energy promoting a fight, and then when you get to fight week, you have to pull the show or pull the fight because these fighters can't stay clean.
Is it important for Joshua to put on a clinical performance? And part B of the question is, if he doesn't put on a clinical performance, i.e. knock him out, we saw what Wilder did to Helenius coming in last minute, will there be more questions about Anthony Joshua then?
Yeah, I think he has to get rid of Helenius in 3-4 rounds, spectacularly. If he meanders through or I don't think there's going to be any forgiveness for him. It's not going to be like, oh, he's trying to bank rounds or he's trying to learn. Not at this stage of his career. Heavyweights live forever. They go on forever. HELENIUS is proving that. He's 39 years old, stepping in on a week's notice. But for Anthony Joshua's value, yeah, sure, he needs to blast. I mean, otherwise, why are we watching? We're on the next coming of Anthony Joshua. You expect him to be in the sport to win a world title again someday. And if he doesn't get rid of HELENIUS in spectacular fashion, or just get rid of him full stop in a couple of rounds, then what are we in it for? You know, you want to keep people invested in the journey. He's done great. He's been on a great journey thus far. But people will be questioning, now is his journey coming to an end? Him being in the gym and taking himself to America and making all these changes would suggest that he doesn't want that to be the case. So he needs to keep the story going.
Got to ask you about your mate Carl Froch. He says a lot of things that upset a lot of people. He said some comments about Joshua, but him and Frank Warren have been going at it for a little while now. You know, I think it started with the whole Joe Kazagi stuff, where Frank said he ducked him and Froch said he didn't duck him. And what we kind of made of the whole Froch on fighting his own show, and he speaks his mind, as we know.
Yeah, the bits I've seen, I really like. I'm subscribed to his channel. I don't actually get a chance to watch all the stuff he's put up, but I've seen lots of it, and it's cool. It's interesting. He shoots from the hip, Carl. He says what's on his mind. He doesn't sort of fare to any agenda. Of course, he's got his own alliances, which are just from his own relationships and his own career and his own bias and the way he likes to fight and his mindset. You know, that's who he is, where he grew up, culturally, the sort of person he is. But I think he's good. I'm really enjoying it. I think he's growing at a phenomenal rate. And then when you think about it, how many sort of fighters are there, retired, who achieved what he achieved, you know, multiple-time world champion in loads of mega fights, who are willing to sort of speak their mind on a public forum like his channel. So it's I'm enjoying it. Like I don't know what's next, but it's so far so good.
George, thank you for giving me a little bit of your time. It is loud in here. Well, it's going to get even louder. And yeah, we'll see you probably on Fight Night.
Yeah, I love it. Cheers. Thank you.
George Groves, Boxing King Media. Thank you very much.